Live pictures. That's going to be a pretty exciting place in a matter of hours, folks. The countdown clock is on. Just a little over 8 hours to tonight's big PBS presidential debate, the Democratic presidential debate, simulcast here on CNN as well, 9 o'clock, folks. It's going to be another exciting matchup. Trust me. These things rate really high. Who knew? Debate after debate after debate. The numbers are amazing. So let's talk a little bit about what's going to be different between these two. There will be something very significant. This is the first one since Bernie Sanders beat Hillary Clinton by 22 points in this week's New Hampshire primary. First head-to-head since that. Of course, after which Sanders was able to flex some pretty big fundraising muscles and pull in $6 million online. Can I repeat that? Because that's a big figure. $6 million, a little over 24 hours. Wow. 48 state primaries and caucuses still lie ahead, and they are all tough, as my next guests are quick to remind me. Bob Beckel is here, a CNN political commentator and Democratic strategist, an awesome suspenders wearer. That's since Larry King. Nomiki Konst is a Democratic strategist and head of the Accountability Project. She supports Bernie Sanders. And Bernard Whitman, a Democratic strategist who supports Hillary Clinton. All right, so as we head into this next matchup, I think the big question on everyone's mind is they've been so polite, relatively polite, other than that whole artful smear business that went on last time they were head-to-head. Is that about to change? Because when we move to South Carolina in every campaign, it starts to get kind of bloody. Bob, start.
Yeah, well, it is. I mean, South Carolina has notoriously been that way. I've done 6 presidentials down there, and it's just mean.
Why?
Well, because it's in the water or something. I don't know. I mean, it's just there's a lot of dirty tricks played down there. But I'll tell you, from the Democrat standpoint, Bernie Sanders has got a real big problem now, which is that almost half that electorate is going to be black, and he's not had any black votes. Now, I'll say this: Hillary Clinton, when she ran in 2008 against Barack Obama, was carrying the South Carolina black vote 60% of the vote. Then Obama wins Iowa and she loses 77 to something. So whether Sanders could pull that off, that was a big difference because it was a black candidate. But it's a tough haul. It's a brand new electorate for him.
Nomi just had the finger pause.
I was like,
full finger pause, yeah.
To be fair, there's only been one poll in the past year in South Carolina, so the numbers are, we have no idea.
I wouldn't say we have no idea. Look, we've got at least this from NBC Wall Street Journal Marist poll. Clinton polling 74% of African American voters in South Carolina to Sanders 17.
Right.
Say what you will about polls. Sometimes they're crazy, and they just were spot on in New Hampshire.
So if you think about it, in what happened in New Hampshire, he won among African-American millennials. So anybody under the age of 44 in South Carolina, even Jim Clyburn's grandson was quoted saying, all my friends are supporting Bernie Sanders.
And he hasn't declared yet.
She is going to get this nomination or this endorsement from the Congressional Black Caucus. That will indeed hurt Bernie Sanders. But when it comes to the record, there's been some amazing pieces. Today in The Nation, there was an incredible piece about why Hillary Sanders has not been good for blacks. And I encourage...
Why Bernie Sanders?
Or I'm sorry,
Bernie
excuse
Sanders
me, why Hillary Clinton has not been her...
There is this grassroots movement. I'm not going to lie. I'm hearing more and more about it. People coming out of the woodwork to send me emails and tell me she shouldn't expect that South Carolina is going to be a lock on the black vote. And the black vote is everything. I mean, if we thought that youth and women were important to Hillary before Bernard, the black vote is critical.
No,
and Bernie Sanders may not be known to them yet, but there's time to get known. And there's also this whole issue of income inequality, which Bernie Sanders has been nailing from the very beginning.
I think it's absolutely essential. And Hillary Clinton is in no way, shape, or form going to take for granted the African American vote or any vote. But if I am Bernie Sanders and I'm Hillary Clinton, I would definitely favor the electoral map for Hillary Clinton. Why? You have South Carolina. She got the Congressional Black Caucus PAC endorsement. You have Nevada, which she already won 8 years ago. You have states a couple days later in Super Tuesday, Georgia, my home state of Virginia, Texas. These are all states that are going to be disproportionately favor her message, disproportionately made up of people of color with whom she has a long record of actually delivering real results for. And so I think Bernie's got to look at the map and say, thank God I raised $6 million off New Hampshire because I may not have another win for quite a long time.
When we talk about things from 8 years ago, and I know we're as guilty as everybody, we quote all sorts of things that happened 8 years ago, and then along comes 2016, Bob, and nothing makes sense anymore. And 2008 seems like it could be the Reagan era. It just seems so long ago in terms of the rules of the game and the numbers that existed back then and how great she was up in the northern states.
I know. In a strange way, Hillary Clinton runs better as an underdog. I mean, she gets passionate in her message. She does. That's one of her problems now. It's too much lacking passion. And the other thing
But
about
she gets criticized for having too much passion. You know, they always say when a woman is enthusiastic, it's yelling. When a man is enthusiastic, it's a movement.
I don't know. Bernie can. I've known him for a long time. He can sound yelling to me. But you know, here's the difference. You say that he carried votes in New Hampshire, but what percentage was of color in that state? 7%.
No, much lower.
No,
about 3.
absolutely. You're correct there.
But listen, here's the problem. He carried white voters up there 60-40, right? If he's probably not going to do that this time down in South Carolina. So that means whoever wins the black vote most likely is going to win South Carolina.
I have to wrap it there, unfortunately, because I could do this numbers game all day and just sort of try to demystify what's happening everywhere as we go to state. I think it's why there's so many TV ratings. Everyone is sort of flummoxed by both sides of the race. Guys, thank you very much.
Thank you,
Invite you all
Thank
three
you.
back anytime. Clear your calendars. It's a busy time.